Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video I'm going to give you 5 Facebook advertising myths that are likely killing your Facebook ad campaigns. If you're enacting the advice based on these incorrectly held beliefs about Facebook advertising, that's definitely going to negatively impact what you're trying to do with Facebook ads and obviously the results that you get. Now, before I get to those 5 Facebook advertising myths, I want to quickly mention that at the end of this video, I'm going to be talking about a couple of free Facebook advertising resources I think you're going to be really interested in if you want to get better results from Facebook ads. So I'd strongly recommend you stick around to the end of the video to hear about those. Now, with that said, let's get into those 5 Facebook advertising myths. So the Facebook advertising myth number 1 is that you cannot run a conversions campaign with a brand new Facebook ad account. People seem to think that you need to season the pixel, you need to run a traffic campaign or an engagement campaign to give your Facebook pixel and your Facebook ad account some data with which to work, and then you can run a conversions campaign. That's not true. Nearly everyone saying that hasn't actually tested it. I've tested it a number of different times. We run conversion campaigns for our clients out of brand new Facebook ad accounts all the time, and they can perform very well. In fact, they're almost certainly going to perform better than if you start by running traffic campaigns, engagement campaigns, etc. Now, with a brand new Facebook ad account, you do need to be aware that yes, your results aren't likely to be fantastic when you first get started. Facebook doesn't have a lot of data to work with, but they wouldn't have that much data to work with anyway if you wasted a bit of money on a traffic or an engagement campaign first. Facebook's still going to go through that learning process. So why not get Facebook to go through that learning process in a way that you want them to continue doing, i.e. optimizing for conversions, whether that's purchases, leads, whatever it is you're optimizing for your business. So Facebook advertising myth number 1 is that you cannot run a conversions campaign straight away with a brand new ad account, and that is not true. You can run a conversions campaign. We do it all the time and we see great results. Okay, that's myth number 1. Facebook advertising myth number 2 is that the more specific your target audience is, the better. Now, that used to be the case. You know, let's say 4 years ago, that was the case. You wanted to be hyper specific with who you targeted on Facebook. Narrow your audience down to the 20 or 30 people, 20 or 30,000 people that might be most interested in what you have to offer. But the advertising platform, Facebook's advertising platform, has really matured. It's much more sophisticated. And now we tend to find that you see much better results if you have large target audiences. Facebook doesn't need as much direction from the advertiser in terms of who's most likely to buy, who's most likely to become a lead. You can give it a much larger audience and allow Facebook to work a lot of that out to some extent. That's what I'm talking about when I say that the ad platform has matured. Facebook can now work out a lot of that for you. And because Facebook can work out who your hyper-responsive prospects are, you want to give them a larger target audience because that gives them more scope with which to work, more scope with which to find people that are highly likely to take your desired action. So Facebook advertising myth number 2 is that you have to be very specific with your target audiences on Facebook, and the more specific, the better. And that's not the case. Larger audiences, lookalike audiences nationwide that contain a couple million people in the US, for example, perform very well. You don't have to be hyper specific. In fact, we see better results with the opposite often, and a lot of campaigns now we are starting to use open targeting, no targeting options, and we are seeing good results with that setup. Okay, so that's number 2. Facebook advertising myth number 3 is that it's all about the target audience. So this is linked to myth number 2, but it's slightly different. It's not all about getting really specific. Some people seem to think that the key to Facebook advertising is just to find the right pocket of people, find that group of people that are really into whatever it is that you have to offer. The truth is there's no magic audience. There's no magic pocket of people that you just haven't been able to reach yet. And as soon as you find those, all your sort of Facebook advertising issues will instantly disappear. That's not true. What people really doing when they're trying to find the right audience, or what they should be doing, is trying to create their own audience. They might say, for example, that, we know we have something that people like, we just can't find this group of people. Well, perhaps the group of people are there, but they're just not ready to buy from you yet. So instead of trying to find that 20 or 30,000 people that you think would really be into your stuff, you probably need to make them, okay? Because if they're cold, if they haven't interacted with your business before, then those people just simply may not exist. You might have to warm them up with content, with other stuff, etc., beforehand. And another thing I'll say about that, in terms of if you get obsessed with target audiences and focusing on just reaching the absolute right group of people, you haven't found them yet in your mind, your ad creative is usually a larger determinant of success than target audience. Of course, targeting is very important. I talk about targeting a lot. I create a lot of videos about them because if you get that wrong, then yes, your campaigns won't perform very well. But a 1% lookalike audience based off previous leads, previous customers is almost certainly going to do well for you, in which case your ad creative becomes a lot more important. Put more time and effort into that. That's the part that people see than into trying to, sort of hunt down this magic audience that you think is out there. It's probably not. Okay, Facebook advertising myth number 3 was that it's all about targeting. There's this magic audience you need to find, and that's not true. Facebook advertising myth number 4 is that Facebook advertising doesn't really work for service providers. It's much more geared up for e-commerce businesses, and those are the only businesses that can really have success on the platform. That's absolutely not true. I mean, there are a lot of e-commerce businesses that do see a lot of success with Facebook advertising, and that's fantastic. We work with a lot of businesses like that. But I would argue that service providers and lead generation type businesses can actually see more success with Facebook advertising than e-commerce businesses. And when I mean by more success, I mean a higher return on ad spend. Because service providers, a lot of local businesses, their average customer values are so high that you might only need a handful of clients to generate a 30x, 40x return on ad spend. Whereas with an e-commerce company, if you're generating, let's say, a 6x return on ad spend, you're usually doing very, very well. Okay, so our most successful clients in terms of the highest return on ad spend numbers that we see nearly always come from service providers or those businesses with much higher average customer values. Okay, so that's Facebook advertising myth number 4, is that Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising is only suitable for e-commerce businesses, and that's just simply not true. There's lots of other types of businesses, service providers, lead generation companies, etc., that can have a lot of success with that model of business and with that way of working. Facebook advertising myth number 5 is that your products and services will sell provided you have the right Facebook ad campaign set up. Once you've got your targeting set up, once you've got really engaging ad creative in there, your products and services will sell. That's not necessarily true. When you're advertising on Facebook, you are still advertising to real people that are going to make rational decisions about whatever it is you have to offer. If what you're offering is not as good as what the competition is offering, it's unlikely you're going to generate sales. I mean, of course, you're going to generate a handful of sales, but I'm talking about at scale and being able to do so profitably. You need to offer something that's different, that's unique, that has a competitive advantage over your competitors' products or services, whether it be on price, customer service, whatever it is, delivery speed. There has to be some reason for them to buy it. I've spoken to quite a lot of Facebook advertisers that are saying, I just can't sell this product. Let's say it's an e-commerce business. The first thing I will often do when someone tells me that is I will go ahead and jump over to Amazon. I will search for their exact product and I'll say, okay, this is a big issue. Your product can be bought for 20% less than you're advertising it for on Amazon. And Amazon with Amazon Prime will deliver it next day, maybe even same day, depending on where you are. And that's a huge issue. That's going to affect your Facebook advertising results because what you're trying to sell in that case is it doesn't really make sense for your customers to buy. And that's a big, big issue. It's not something that people think about. They often just think about it's the Facebook ad campaign. I just need to get the Facebook ad campaign right. I need to get the targeting right. I need to get the ad creative right. And of course, you do need to get those aspects right. And most businesses that are set up well, if you do get those aspects right, you will see success. But it's not a guarantee because of what I just said. There are external factors. You are advertising to real people. Whatever you're offering needs to make sense for them. Okay, not just for you as an advertiser, but for them. So Facebook advertising myth number 5 is that your products and services are guaranteed to sell if your ad campaign is set up the right way. Setting your ad campaign the right way is important, but it's not a guarantee. Okay, now I've been through those 5 Facebook advertising myths. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I was going to quickly talk about a couple of free Facebook advertising resources I think you're going to find very interesting, very valuable if you're looking for better results from Facebook ads. So the first is my Facebook ads mastermind group. This is a Facebook group that I own. It's got just over 18,000 members in it right now. A fantastic community full of other Facebook advertisers, Facebook ads agency owners, real experts, and everyone is sort of posting questions, getting them answered by other people. Amazing community, really, really helpful. I post content in there. I'm happy to answer questions from time to time when people have got them. So if you've got sort of, when you're running your Facebook ad campaigns, you're thinking, well, what do I do with this? Or how do I improve results here? I just don't know what I'm doing. Go ahead and join the group. There'll be a link in the video description below. Completely free to join. Just request access. I'll approve that. And we'll be glad to see you in there. The other Facebook advertising resource that I want to mention is my 5-part Facebook ad template. This is something you can download right now for free. This template includes some of the best performing ads that we've created for our clients in a number of different industries. We've sort of broken each ad down into its component parts, and we've explained what we've included and sort of why it worked. So if you want to model from those, that should really help improve your Facebook ad performance. So go ahead and grab that. Again, there'll be a link in the video description. And then finally, I want to quickly talk about our Facebook advertising services. So my company, Lead Guru, is a Facebook ads agency. We create, manage, and optimize Facebook ad campaigns for our clients. And if you're looking for better results from Facebook advertising, let's say you've been managing it yourself, or even you're working with an agency that you don't think is doing a great job, then I'd like to have a conversation with you. So we only work with companies that are spending or looking to spend at least $3,000 per month on Facebook ads. If you meet that criteria, there will be a link in the video description. You can go ahead and book a call with me. We can sort of discuss the various options. I can explain our services. I can find out a bit more about your business, see what I feel we could do for you guys. No obligation, of course, just a chilled conversation, but it would be good to have. So hopefully I'll talk to you on the phone. Either way, best of luck with your Facebook advertising. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Click the little bell notification when you do to make sure that you're notified whenever I release a new Facebook advertising related video. Give it a thumbs up, comment below to let me know you enjoyed it, you found it useful. And if you've got any questions, again, pop them in the comments. I will get to them. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.